Hi there, welcome back to Still Waters ASMR. I am sitting in chaos, absolute chaos. This is all stuff to be sold. I've listed it. Last week I spent like a couple days just photographing everything and listing everything on eBay and Facebook. I've got a pile of stuff here which next time I'm leaving the island that I live on and going to the mainland of Shetland, I'll be dropping that off at people because that's stuff that people have already claimed. I've already sold like a bunch of stuff. This is a lot less than there was, so it's there's also a pile of stuff to go to the charity shop. So I have finished the massive task of going through everything in the loft. Everything in the loft was pulled out. The stuff that we were keeping put into one room, stuff we were getting rid of put into another room. The stuff we were keeping has been sorted and organised and put back in the loft. The stuff that we're getting rid of has either been like donated or photographed and listed online for sale. There's a bundle of furniture that needs to go next time somebody goes somewhere with a van or a trailer, and it needs to get taken and donated. So that's what's been going on with that. I have finally got back into my studies, but my husband has been home. He's got COVID, so he's home ill. So he's been home like watching TV, so I've been studying with my noise cancelling headphones on, but it means I've not been able to do videos for my channel. So hopefully once he's better and like back at work and I've got quiet time, hopefully I can get back to recording videos when I study, because I know that those are quite popular. And so I'll get back into that. I just studied a chapter and completed an assignment today with all of VAT, and it's like value added tax, horrendously boring. So yeah, tedious. It's quite late. I don't actually know what time it is, but my husband's gone to bed, and so I'm nabbing the chance to do a quick video before I head off to bed. So he's got COVID. It's only a matter of time that I'll probably get COVID. I'm already feeling unwell, but I don't know if that's the new medication I'm back on. So I'm back on doing injections for my Crohn's, because my Crohn's was flaring up. So I'm back on the injections for that, which is resulting in some side effects which are making me feel a bit sick. I had them last time I went on the injections, and it lasted for like months before it finally cleared. So I'm like, but it is what it is. I'm still quite fatigued. I don't have the energy I was hoping to have yet, but that'll just take time. Did I say hi and welcome to Still Waters ASMR? I can't remember. I may have just launched straight into everything. I don't know. Anyway, hiya. I thought I'd just do a random soft-spoken ramble update video, and I just launched straight into it. Didn't actually tell you what we were doing today. It'll be in the title, so I mean it should be self-evident. So yeah, basically I am getting back in my studies, taking new medication. I had a scan at the hospital the other day. Turns out I've got a cyst behind my thyroid, which is why this area here is looking quite... I've been kind of paranoid about it in videos lately and been like, I'm getting a jowl. But actually I've got a cyst in here that's like several centimetres big. It's like decent size behind my thyroid. I've always had a problem with Adam's apple, but then the nurse was like, yeah, you haven't actually always had a problem with Adam's apple. You've probably had a cyst your whole life, like just sitting in there. So I often feel like I've got something in my throat, but I don't. It's just a cyst. So I'll have to have an operation to have that removed at some point. So it's not urgent, so I'm not like at the front of the queue or anything. It could be months, but it's like, interesting. That explains a few things. So yay! I'm always broken. There's always something wrong with me. I've also come to the realization, it's been like over the last few days, like the light bulb went bing, that I'm actually suffering from depression. It's mild, I've had it much worse, but there's like certain red flags I know to recognise. One of them is I keep finding myself like really restless. Apologies for the yawning. Like I'm really restless, wanting to do something, but not having the like drive to actually do it. Like, for example, like I want to do something that's gonna give me some kind of a positive buzz, like reading a book or watching a TV show. But when I actually get the time, I'm just like I can't be bothered. I don't want to look up a TV show to watch or to try and find a book to read, and I'm like, eh. So I've just been feeling a bit lost lately. That kind of like nothing's really giving me pleasure. But feeling that kind of restless way. It's hard to describe. And I've noticed I've been comfort eating a lot. I've not stepped on the scales to see what the impact of that has been. And drinking, I can't drink a lot because of my Crohn's, but I'll be having like a cider in the evening. It's like a sort of to try and like pick me up. And I've been drinking a lot more Coke, like Coca-Cola. I used to have like one can every so often, and then it became one a day, and now it's become like two a day. And yeah, like comfort eating and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like these little red flags. I'm like, and I know exactly why. It's a variety of factors probably combined. One, the weather here has been atrocious. This last winter I found really, really hard, like weather-wise. It was just relentlessly windy and cold and wet, and it was just miserable. And this summer has basically been just more of the same, and we're not having a summer. Like today was just really windy and cold, and it's been wet, and it's just this more of the same. Like our summer has really not been much different from our winter. The rest of the UK is having like massive heat waves and like temperatures in the 20s and 30s, and literally our temperatures are only a couple degrees warmer than they were in the winter time. I think we're sitting at like 14 degrees today maybe. And we were like around about the 7-8 degrees for most of the winter, like 6-7-8 degrees. Like we didn't get much frosty cold weather, but the wind makes it feel colder. And so I'm just fed up with getting blown on every time I step outside my house. It's just like, so the weather has really been getting to me. Like me and my daughter were going to do a 1,000 hours outside challenge this year. And then, with the really bad weather to start the year, it got revised like, right, we'll aim for like 500. She's just little, let's aim for 500. And now I've just given up entirely. I'm not even counting. I'm sulking with the weather. I don't want to go outside. I'm just done. I'm so fed up. We've got sheep to clip, and they need to be dry to be able to clip them, and it keeps raining on them. Like we're not getting dry weather to actually clip our sheep. We got the year-olds clipped before we went on holiday. And then I felt really guilty because it was blooming freezing, so I felt really guilty. And now we just aren't getting the weather, and I'm dreading to know for, like, when it comes to making the hay or haylage this year, it's getting several days of sunshine in a row. I don't know if we're gonna get it, like, straight up. I don't know what our crop was like. We might not be able to make any hay this year, and that's one of our main sources of income for the croft. So it's stressful. So there's that. The weather, I have no control over it, and it's doing my head in. Another thing I've also discovered is that for my mental health, I need to feel like I've achieved something in a day. I need to have things that I'm working towards, goals and projects, and like keeping the house clean and tidy and keeping a small child alive doesn't like scratch that itch or tick that box for me. It doesn't give me that sense of achievement that like having a job would. I really need to have a job and go to work, and I actually tie a lot of my self-worth into my productivity and what I feel like I've achieved, and I do just enjoy like having a project that I'm working on and being able to like get stuck in and see it through to completion and get that sense of satisfaction of a job well done. And I just haven't been getting that. And having a toddler in the house, I can't get on with things. Like, it took me months to get everything like listed online and photographed, because I try and start a project and having a little person around, it's really hard, and I've been really struggling with that. I love my daughter to bits, and I do not regret becoming a mother, but I'm finding it really hard, the not being able to like get stuck into things. I've got so many things I want to do, and I put a rant on Facebook the other day about how I was trying to get my daughter to go down for a nap, and she was tired, but she was fighting the nap. And by the time it was over, it was probably like an hour and a half before I finally got her to go down for her nap. By the time she finally like gave up and went down to sleep, I was so wound up that I was like, I had so many things I wanted to do that I was too wound up to do any of it. And I posted something about that on Facebook, and it made me laugh, the number of people who thought I meant like housework, and I'm like, no, like housework wasn't on my list of things I wanted to do at all. Like doing like recording a YouTube video, that was something I wanted to do. And like maybe do some studying, maybe do some planning, that sort of stuff. But like housework wasn't even on my list, and all these people were like, oh, it's okay if your house is a mess. I'm like, I don't care if my house is a mess. I'm more upset about the projects I want to do that aren't being done, the courses I want to do, the work I want to do. That's what I'm more upset about. So yeah, it amused me, people just totally misunderstanding me entirely. But yeah, it's been, apologies for the yawning, it's been a tough little while, but really understanding more about myself and how my brain works, and I know that's okay. I know that it's okay that that's the way my brain works. Like, it's just who I am and how I'm wired. So I need to try and learn how to give myself that sense of satisfaction in my current situation, because my daughter won't always be this age and this phase, and I know that this period of depression won't last forever. I know that I can like come out the other side of it, and that I'll be okay. I've got a good support network. There's like medical professionals who are looking after me. I've got like a health visitor, and I've got a learning disabilities nurse, and people who care about me and are looking after me. And a therapist. I need to actually go see him again. But I'm really passionate about being honest about things. Feelings are valid. How you feel about things is valid. And even if you, like, I am so blessed, but even if you're blessed and have things good, it's still okay to find things hard. like that is your valid experience, and that's, you know, it's okay to admit when things are hard. And I think the more we speak openly and honestly about mental health issues, the less of an issue they become. I think it's really important to be open and honest. So yeah, people I know told me being a mother's hard, and I had no idea. I had no idea how hard it was going to be. I said I love my daughter like to the ends of the earth, and I don't regret for one moment becoming a mother, and I'm so grateful to be her mother. But there's no way I'm having another one. That's why we're selling all the baby stuff. Like, no way I'm having another one. I couldn't cope with two. Yeah, it's, I don't know how people do it. I genuinely don't. Yeah, it's, but then I also know that other people aren't the same as me. Like, everybody's wired differently. Everybody finds different things easy and hard, and have different skills and abilities and stuff. But yeah, it's been a tough little while. Apologies for the yawning. So I'm just kind of, I did actually get my hair cut and it was looking quite nice, and then I've just been tying it up again, so there was no point. But I've been trying to be like positive. I've sort of looked at my bullet journal and was like, well, how am I using it? What do I need it to do for me? Because I haven't, back in the day, I was using my bullet journal like all the time. Like, my whole life was in my bullet journal, and I used to have like weekly and monthly and yearly spreads. And then when I moved home, I kind of moved to a different layout. I kept revising the layouts until it got to the point where I was like basically doing a monthly spread, and that was it. And then like the year look ahead, and then so far this year I've just been doing the year look ahead. I've not even been doing like a monthly or anything like that. And I was like, I've been using like a day planner, like either like a pad of paper or like a day planner type thing for like writing down daily activities and stuff. But I'm like, right, let's get things back in the bullet journal. So I'm resurrecting my bullet journal. I'm create a new weekly spread, and we're going to see how that goes. Get everything back into one place. So the meal planning, the habit trackers, the schedule, the to-do lists, everything back in one place. I've got bits of paper everywhere with to-do lists. I've got an Excel spreadsheet that I tried to use with like color coding and like filtering and sorting things by topic, and whether it's like work or personal or the craft, and then sorting things by like priority. But to be honest, that involves turning my computer on to look at it. So I think I need to get everything back, my to-do lists back into my bullet journal like I used to, and like everything in one place. So I can see what's going on, and I can work on like clearing items. You know, look for those easy items just to get rid of, get them off the lists. And have like kind of like long-term lists where it's like it's not going to be cleared anytime soon, but I don't want to forget about it. And then more immediate lists, and then kind of that way I can then pick, right, well, this is something I can work on and I can clear it off. So yeah, I think that's something I need to do. So it's nice kind of now that I've recognised, oh yeah, I'm dipping into depression. I recognise these signs. I've probably been depressed for a little while now, but I haven't like twigged. Whereas now I'm like, no, I recognise this. I've been here before. I know, like, it doesn't scare me, like it maybe has in the past before, because I'm like, no, I know this. Totally understand why I'm probably feeling like this. Let's need to arrange to see my therapist, need to like think about, well, what do I need to like feed back into me. So yeah, it's just kind of, I'm naturally a really positive person, which works well in my favour. This is like, I've had at least 2 major periods of depression before in the past. At least 2. One included like a nervous breakdown, which was about 4 years ago. And Facebook memories reminded me of it. It was like literally just like the other week, about 4 years ago. And I'm actually weirdly quite grateful for that incident, because that was when I was working as an engineer. I was a chartered chemical engineer in my previous life, and I had just a breakdown and couldn't do it, and it made it a lot easier to walk away from that career. And now I've got like a whole new career ahead of me. I'm retraining to become an accountant. I've got the craft, I've got ideas and plans and like so many things in the works, that trying to like balance them all together and make something that works, because I'm only one person. And I think if I still had engineering on the table as an option, I think it would just confuse things. So because having that burnout and walking away from it and being like, no, I can't do this anymore, has actually helped, because it just shut that door for me. And I think that's actually really helpful for me, because otherwise my brain would be like, oh, let's try and find a way of fitting engineering into this because we have a degree and we should be using it. Whereas instead I can be like, no, that was a very good chapter of my life. There were some really good highs. It was something I'm really proud I achieved, but let's just shut that door and we're done. Let's move on to something else. And that's definitely helped, because I just had to recently email the Institute of Chemical Engineers and say, yes, I'm no longer going to keep renewing my membership, which means I can no longer use the letters after my name, and which means I lose my chartered status, which I worked hard to get chartered, but I know I achieved it. And so for me, I'm like, I don't need to keep it. I know I achieved it. It was something I can be proud of and go forward and do something else with my life instead. So, and also I learned so much about myself when I had that breakdown. I learned a lot about how my brain works and what I need, and I had some really good therapy, which then helped me when I moved home and I knew that things were tricky. I went and sought out a therapist because I know how important it is, and I've made some really good progress on picking certain things and understanding better how I tick and why. Turns out telling your child that they were a mistake isn't always a good idea. So that's had a bit of a lasting impact, even when it's in jest and with love. It still has an impact. Yeah, and I try really hard not to be a burden on anyone, which sometimes you kind of have to be. So yeah, it's been a very interesting journey the last few years. And yeah, as I said, talking about mental health issues and talking about this stuff is really important to me, because I think so often the biggest lie and the most dangerous lie is that we're alone in things. You know, we're the only one experiencing something and that we're alone with it. Whereas I think the more people speak about things and acknowledge that when they're struggling, it gives other people the permission to vocalise and admit and acknowledge when they're struggling too. So yeah, that's kind of what my big important ethos is. But anywho, I should probably go to bed. I should get some water. My throat's quite dry. It's like I'm sitting here going, is it COVID? I don't know. It might be. It might not be. It's probably just me being paranoid and like looking for symptoms. but I said it's probably highly likely that in a few days' time I will succumb to COVID. So hopefully my husband will be kind of come out the other side by then, and then so I'm looking after him now, and then he can look after me when we're at the other side. So I got my studying done for this week. Apologies, because I updated my study planner, and I was like, I'm not going to be behind like the very first week of getting it set up. So I've gotten my studies for this week completed already. So if I can get more done this week and make a head start on next week's, if I do end up being ill with COVID and not able to study, at least then I can like make some headway. But we'll see. But anywho, I'm gonna go, and I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're all well physically. I hope you're all well mentally, and I hope you're all well spiritually. And if you're not, I hope that you are empowered to do what you need to do to get by, and preferably to make improvements to that situation. I hope that you have support and help with the things that you need support and help with, and that, yeah, just you're stronger than you realise, and just kind of sending out love and encouragement to you all, and just, yeah, thank you for being here. So take care, and we'll see you again sometime soon.